This week sucked.
Yeah, I agree.
Welcome to From Center Ice, the podcast. This is Courtney.
I'm Jacqueline.
And this week sucked. The IceHogs and Blackhawks both went winless. There was barely any hockey. And it won't stop snowing here in Rockford. So,
I need all of that to stop.
me as well. But what doesn't suck is that people listen to this podcast.
You're right.
So all of you don't suck.
No.
No. So if you would like to talk to us, you can email us at vfcenterice@gmail.com. You could follow us on Twitter at vfcentericepod or follow along on Instagram at FromCenterIcePod. We would appreciate it if you could subscribe and rate us on iTunes. Even if you don't listen to us on there, it's fine, but the ratings do help us grow, so we would greatly appreciate it. And also, if you could tell your friends to listen to us, that would be sweet. From Center Ice is a Rockford Buzz production. Rockford Buzz is an online resource for the community, featuring a calendar of events, local business directory, positive news stories, and more. Just search Rockford Buzz in the Google Play Store or Apple App Store and follow along on Instagram and on Facebook. So there was barely any hockey to talk about. There were a total of 4 games between the two teams.
Ugh.
All of them sucked. And then there was the All-Star weekend. So I only have a couple of tweets this week, really. In Indie News, which, if y'all aren't familiar, they are the ECHL affiliate to our Blackhawks and IceHogs, the Indy Fuel. They got Spencer Watson and Nathan Knoll back.
I didn't see Noel going back down.
Me either.
It happened.
Yeah, I guess maybe they were trying to do him a favor since he just keeps getting called for stupid slew-footing penalties.
Fair.
And the first one definitely wasn't a slew-foot.
No, and we didn't see the second one.
Right, because it was in...
It was in Milwaukee, right?
I want to say so, and that was the one that there was no penalty called for, right?
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense. So maybe they just sent him down to Indy.
Just for a breather.
Yeah, the officials can forget he exists, and maybe when he comes back up, he won't get called for dumb slew-footing penalties that just don't exist.
That would be ideal.
It would. It would. We have a goalie signing.
Finally.
I know, we just talked about this last week, that we have
Just
one...
Colin Delia.
Yeah. One goalie signed through next season, but now we have 2.
Good old Matt Tompkins. We finally
Yes.
figured out where he stands.
Yes, he got a 2-year contract with the Blackhawks, so not
Hey.
just an AHL deal.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's for a total of $700,000 per season. That's a pretty solid deal for a young guy.
For sure.
Yeah, so, I don't know, maybe we'll see him with the Hawks next year. Maybe he'll get a call-up. Maybe he'll get a call-up this year. Who
That
knows?
would be
Yeah.
unexpected and new.
It would. It would. But the contract starts this year and ends after next season, so
Oh, it
It's
starts
possible.
this year?
yeah,
Okay.
because it runs through the 2021 season.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it's
Alright.
possible. I mean, if they don't want to give Colin another chance and Kevin
Right.
hasn't been playing as good lately, why not?
Try third.
Give Tommy a shot. And actual good news from this week, Shazzy had his baby.
Aww.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Cute little baby.
Yeah. Dax James Douglas Shaw.
Alright, what a name.
That is a mouthful of a
It
name.
is that.
But it's a baby. It's a little
Yeah.
wrinkly raisin that moves by itself.
That's what babies are.
That's what newborns look like.
Oh, yeah.
Little wrinkly raisins that
Yep.
move
Little wiggly raisins.
and scream.
Also
Raisins that scream.
and poop.
Yeah, that too. So just imagine a raisin screaming and pooping, and you've got a baby.
No, thank you.
Well, that's just the truth here, okay?
You're not wrong.
Oh gosh, and then we have more goalie news. So this one was tweeted by Slavko Bekovic on January 24th, so that was last Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Per Pierre LeBrun, the Blackhawks had a chat with Robin Lehner's camp last week about his future and intended to follow up this week. Says the Hurricanes are a team interested in Lehner via trade.
I don't want that, obviously, but I can see it happening.
Me too. I mean, let's see. Carolina has James Reimer and Peter Mrazek.
Mm-hmm.
That would boost their goaltending, although they're not doing poorly.
No, I don't think they are.
No. So, I mean, whenever you can get that caliber of goaltender, you go for it.
Oh, absolutely. I don't care who else you have.
Yeah, but they better be giving us something good in return.
Yeah.
That starts with a first-round pick.
Right.
And you add on from there. Because he's ours, and you're going to have to pay up if you want him to be yours.
Right.
Sorry, Canes. Sorry. What do you think? You think he's going to resign, or is he going to get traded?
Depends on what he's looking for and if we can afford it.
That's not what I asked.
I know.
If you just life or death had to choose one right now, what would
Whether
it be?
he's going to sign or not?
Yep.
My heart is saying yes.
He's going to resign?
He's going to resign.
Oh, man.
We're going to do what it takes.
Oh, man. All right.
What about you?
I have...
Life or death, right now.
I'm going to go with traded, then.
Okay.
I'm going to go with traded.
All right, well, one of us is dying.
Yep. Shit. That's not what I intended for when we started this podcast, was our livelihood to come down to the decision of Robin Leonard's future. But here we are. We have stumbled upon this.
Turns have been taken.
Yes. It always goes off the rails at some point. And we got it out of the way early this time.
All right. Maybe we can realign.
And then in Asshole of the Week news.
Oh my god, I forgot about this. That doesn't feel like it happened this week.
I know. I saw it in my likes on Twitter. I was like, that was this week?
It feels like a month ago.
It was technically the day that we recorded was when the game was, but it didn't drop until the next day. So, Brandon Manning, former Blackhawk, who we somehow traded to Edmonton for Drake Caggiula, is in the American League, playing for the Bakersfield Condors, and they were playing Ontario?
Yes.
And he decided that during a kerfuffle, he would like to use racial slurs towards a player of color.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, he was suspended.
As he should be.
For 5 games.
Yep.
For using a racial slur.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Dude, just get him out of the league. Like, you're a grown-ass man.
I mean, there's that.
You know better. I don't care how mad you are.
Right.
If you're not racist, that word won't come out of your mouth.
Right.
Like, it's really that simple.
And we've already covered the fact that this type of language is just, like, entrenched in hockey culture for some reason. I mean, well, it's dominated by white players, so, you know, it just comes up through the history of the league and just doesn't go away until things like this start happening.
Yep.
That being said, it's definitely all his fault.
Oh, for sure.
But if they don't kick him out of the league, which they're obviously not going to do, how do you feel about the punishment?
I saw a tweet that said, like, 3 games for spitting, 5 games for a racial slur.
Yeah, I saw that too. And I was like, oof. It just made me mad about both instances all over again.
Honestly.
Because I was on the train of, why are you suspending somebody for spitting?
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody uses a racial slur, and only 2 more games than spitting?
Yeah.
Really?
I don't understand the logic.
One of those is a lot more harmful than the other.
Think.
And it only got 2 more games? Really?
I don't know, man. Brandon Manning's got to be coming up on 30, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not young.
No.
Brandon Manning. He is 29.
Yes.
You were very close.
There's no excuse whatsoever. And he released a statement. And
I have it next.
Oh, okay.
Do you wanna hear it?
Let's do it.
All right. It was released from Bakersfield, and this is on their official Twitter page. A statement from Brandon Manning. Last night, I made comments to an opposing player that were stupid and offensive. Yes. After the game, I spoke with the opposing player in person, which I'm very grateful for. He allowed me to apologize and I took full responsibility for what I said. To say I've learned from this situation is an understatement, and I promise to be better.
It's too late for you, bro. Like, for one, you shouldn't be learning at 30 that's
he's
not...
29.
I don't give a fuck how old you are. You can't... You're an adult.
Yes.
You
Been
should...
an adult for 11 years,
yeah,
technically.
a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know better. You can't learn these lessons that late in life in 2020. Like...
No.
And then the other part I'm not real happy about. I'm not a fan of the fact that he I don't know. Okay, so I don't feel like he should be given the what word am I looking for?
I don't know.
I know. Given the gratification of being allowed to apologize, and like, I'm glad he apologized, obviously, but
yes.
I don't feel like he deserves
people to praise him for saying that he'll be better.
Right. Yes, that's
okay.
the one.
I get that.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of mind-boggling to me that after everything that's happened in hockey within the last 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
that this is a thing that just happened last week.
It's still happening, yeah.
Like you said, you shouldn't learn these lessons this late in life at 29.
Right.
But if you're going to learn them this late in life, you should have learned that when Bill Peters was fired for using racial slurs. So, Brandon Manning has rocks for brains.
Mm-hmm.
5 games is not nearly enough.
No.
And yeah, that's about it. I know he wasn't suspended by the NHL because he's in the American League.
Mm-hmm.
But since the Akimalu multiple things happened, well, the Colorado Eagles are now an AHL team. They were an ECHL team. But now that they got in trouble, they are an AHL team, so it still counts.
Mm-hmm.
Both of these things happened with American League teams.
Mm-hmm.
You would think the governing body over the American League would see another racial incident happening and go, hard stop, we've gone through this twice in the past 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
We need a larger punishment because something is obviously not working.
Yeah. Zero tolerance, honestly. That's my view.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's lawyers and such. You can't get fired for saying a word, blah, 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 whatever.
I mean,
fuck that.
Bill Peters kind of did.
Kind of.
Well, he resigned. Sorry.
Yeah, they allowed him to.
Yes. But if you suspend somebody for the rest of the season, that's not firing them. It's a suspension.
Right. You're right.
So,
I like that.
Yeah.
Sounds appropriate.
Yeah, you could suspend them for the rest of the season. Then you don't have to be like, we've voided his contract or whatever, because that obviously wouldn't fly legally.
Right.
So, I don't know. I know that... what I do know is that the hockey world would be burning down if they had suspended him for the full season.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just full of people that...
don't think it's a big deal?
Right. And it is.
Yeah.
And they just didn't take a hard enough of a stance on it. Even 10 games, I would have been like, okay, that's getting somewhere.
Something.
But 5 games,
it just
2 more than spitting.
That's like a week and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. It's dumb.
It's not enough.
Bakersfield will probably be better without Manning anyways, so like you'd be doing the team a solid.
Right.
You'd be showing that it's a hard no and we're not going to accept this type of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, they swing and miss again. At least he got suspended. That's the thinnest of silver linings that there is. And I hope that we don't have to cover another one of these stories for the rest of the season.
I agree.
I can't say forever because it's gonna happen, but at least for the rest of the season, can we not have people being stupid?
No.
Can
You're asking a lot.
Not have people being stupid and using racial slurs?
it seems like it would be an easy ask.
It does. Why is that the first thing to come out of your mouth?
Honestly. There's so many things you can say to someone.
Say you smell. I don't know. Nobody wants to smell.
No.
You stink.
You're gross.
You're real stinky.
You're a bad hockey player.
Right. You could say any one of these things.
Anything, really.
And none of them require using slurs of
Anything
any type.
outside of the realm of racism.
Yeah.
It's really that simple.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can say.
There are many words.
Many.
But they don't use them.
Mm-mm.
So we are here talking about them being stupid and using racial slurs.
Yep.
So now we get to talk about our teams being stupid.
Oh, great.
So the Blackhawks are on their All-Star break.
Yes.
And then they have their bye week next week. So we don't have another game until February 1st for the Blackhawks.
Right. Which is Friday, right? No.
Saturday?
Friday is...
I think it's Saturday. Because Friday's the 31st, which is when the IceHogs come back.
You're right.
Yeah. So, yeah, the IceHogs are on their All-Star break, too.
Uh-huh.
So they come back Friday. The Hawks come back Saturday. There was one more game after we recorded the last one, and that was Coach Q's return to the United Center.
It feels like that should have happened by now.
It does, but you only play the Panthers twice a season, one home, one away, so there's a good ratio of games that wouldn't have happened. And he was hired... It was midway through the season, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't know about midway through the season.
Well, it had to have been, because he was fired in November, so...
Yeah, but he was out for a while, wasn't he? Just
right.
not...
Was he hired over the summer?
I don't know. Now I feel the need to look that up.
Why are we blanking on this?
When was Joe...
I can't remember, because I know there were so many rumors about him going to the Flyers and all these other places.
Yeah.
Then he ended up with the Panthers.
April 8th, 2019?
Okay,
or is
so...
that when he was fired?
No, he was fired in November.
Yeah, April 8th, 2019 is when he was hired.
So, was that after the Panthers were done? Did they end the season and be like, we hired Joe Quenneville? Or did they play more games after that? I don't know. When does hockey end? I know
it's April.
Yeah. So maybe he was hired at the end of the season. So that would make sense.
Yeah.
It just seems like he's been gone for so long that it should have happened by now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Panthers were back in the United Center with Q.
Mm-hmm.
It was the game after Patrick Kane reached his 1,000th point.
Yes.
So you'd think it would be a good night. And they lost 4-3 to the Florida Panthers.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
Was Bob in that?
I don't know. Probably because
he
we
was.
talked about Dreger, someone, their other goalie, being injured and how that would have been good for the Leafs. But apparently they're winning anyway, so I don't know anymore. I don't know anything anymore. Yeah, so the Hawks were on a 5-game winning streak.
Yeah. We said last week they were okay again.
Yeah, and then they just had to really go and prove us wrong the very next day.
Yeah, they're good at that.
The very next day.
They're very good at that.
Yes. But we did say that the IceHogs were still broken. And they are.
And they are.
We got Gilbert and Hagel back again.
Mm-hmm. They were all over the place.
Yep.
Up, down, up, down, up, down.
I believe they had just been called back up to Chicago when we recorded last.
Yes.
Because it was after the
down.
game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And so they were sent back down. We got them back. Tim Soderlund came back this weekend from injury.
Which we noticed halfway through the game on
I'm pretty sure it was like the third period.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, we missed Timmy so much. And then,
I'm
looking at there, I was like, wait, 37?
He's playing.
It's very odd. It's very, very odd. Yeah, so they're still broken. Badly broken. They've lost, let's see. They lost so they lost Monday, which was the day we recorded. So they've lost 4 in a row now.
Great.
After Colin pitched a shutout on Sunday.
This is not a great way to,
I don't like a 1-in-4 ratio. That is a bad ratio.
That's not the way to climb back up in the rankings.
No. Do you remember when we were second in the conference?
I do, actually. Just under Milwaukee.
Yeah, and then Milwaukee beat us twice again this weekend, and they beat us, 3 times in a row last week or something like that?
Something like that.
It's not going well against Milwaukee.
No, I think we've won 1 game against them this season.
That's really painful.
We have 12, right?
Yeah, I think it's the same as Chicago.
Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, that's bad.
Just lovely.
So the game on Wednesday we were at, and that one wasn't as bad. Tommy was in net for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And
he played really well.
He did. Texas only scored 1 goal, but we said they lost, so the IceHogs scored 0 goals.
No goals.
That was their 2nd game in a row at home getting shut out.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Friggin' ouch, man.
Yes. And I was at that Monday game, so I got to see 2 in a row.
Ouchie.
That's not good.
No.
And then they decided to score some goals on Friday in Milwaukee. But then Colin let in 7.
See, and I didn't see the game.
So
I'm
not gonna blame the goalie.
Played.
Yeah.
The team in front of him probably wasn't great.
They put up 4.
Yeah, but you know how our defense likes to disappear sometimes.
This is true. They did get scored on within the first 2 minutes of the second period, twice.
Yeah, at one point it was 4-5 though, so they were holding it. They
and
almost came back to tie it, and then
didn't.
Yeah, and then they let in 2 more.
Was there an empty netter? Do you recall?
I don't know.
I want to say I hope there was.
I think there was. I think I would put money.
Okay. I really hope that there was.
Yeah.
Because then it's not as bad. But we still got scored on 7 times.
Yeah, that's still ouchie.
In Milwaukee. A lot of people weathered the fog and the snow to go up there.
They did. Good for them.
I was not one of them.
No.
But I did get out of my house on Saturday and snowblowed the 3 to 4 inches of snow on my driveway.
Was so heavy and wet.
Oh my god. Great packing snow.
Oh yeah, if you want to build some snowmen, build a fort, this is the stuff for you.
Yeah. But if you have to snowblow on a very steep driveway...
Yeah, that's a bad time.
It was. I was pushing it down, it was going great, and then I tried to go back up, and my feet were just sliding all over the place.
Well, yeah, and the fact that it's 33 degrees, so...
Yeah.
It's it doesn't know whether to be...
No. Frozen,
yeah,
or
it's
slush,
just really
or...
wet.
It's just
and heavy.
Gross.
And yucky.
Yeah, and because it snowed so much, the plows came by, and they just left me a nice big old mountain of snow at the base of my driveway.
They do that.
Yeah. Ugh. And because the snow was so heavy, the snow blower didn't move through it.
Yeah.
So I had to blow the whole driveway, snow blow the sidewalk, and then I had to grab my shovel
and dig yourself out.
Dig myself out. I couldn't even do the full width of my driveway. It was so heavy. I just got enough to where my car would fit. And I got inside, and I think my body was just dripping from every possible pore that it could.
Not surprised.
It was gross. And then I had to leave a half hour later to go to the game on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
That they lost 5-2 to Milwaukee.
Okay.
Again.
They looked okay in the first period.
They did.
They were playing with energy. They were up and down the ice. They were actually doing stuff. They were shooting the puck.
Yes. I don't trust this team when they play well in the first period any longer. Because they did this to me against Belleville on Monday. They had an 8-1 shot ratio in the first period. And then they lost. So whenever they play well in the first period, I'm like, oh god.
Here we go.
Here we go. So they can really only realistically have a good third period.
Because their second period also sucks.
Always. And I still can't figure that one out.
No.
I try real hard.
It's gotta be a King thing, right?
I don't know.
This wasn't a thing before King.
I don't know. I don't recall. And it's the period of the long change, but it doesn't affect the other team. Why does it affect us?
It shouldn't be every single game.
No. It's dumb. Man. It's dumb. I don't understand why the second period sucks so bad.
Fix it.
Yeah. Sometimes they have a good third period.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
As long as they don't let it get completely away from them in the first and second.
Right.
Because, their morale is not great once they start getting scored on. This team is not one that will come back with a vengeance.
No.
It's like they just give up. Like, they just get their feelings hurt.
They had that one game against Chicago earlier this season where they did that.
Yeah.
When Dylan had a hat trick and we scored, 5 goals or 6 goals in the last 9 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
But other than that one...
Yeah, no, otherwise they're like, oh, I guess we suck.
Yeah, they just lay down and die. And I don't understand. I don't like it.
Mm-mm.
I don't know how to fix it.
No.
Obviously, we can't fix it. What are we gonna do?
No.
Yeah, but Saturday was Autism Awareness Night.
It was.
And Lego Night. So we got little Lego Man giveaways, which was kind of cool.
Who was there? Gilbert Highmore and Tyler Secura.
Yes, and we ended up with all 3.
Haha.
Yeah. And then there were mystery pucks that benefit Easter seals. And I got 8 of those. Because it's addicting to rip them open and see who signs
them.
them.
All shiny and then...
Right.
It's like Christmas. It's like, who am I going to get? Who am I going to get?
Because they're all signed by IceHogs and Blackhawks players.
Mm-hmm.
So I got Andrew Shaw. I got Adam Boquist. Tim Soderlund. Ian McCoshen. Oh, who else? Thompson. I can never remember his first name. And then there was... Oh, I can't remember the other 3.
Gotcha.
It's always that last 3.
Boquist, Shaw, Tompkins,
Tompkins.
Soderlund, Thompson, Chad Chris,
yes.
Spencer Watson, and McCoshen.
And Watson was already back in Indy by that time. So, yeah. So that was cool. I mean, I like ripping them open. It's like ripping open hockey packs.
Oh, yeah.
With new cards and then, like, who's in it? I must know.
What am I going to get?
I like the surprise aspect to it.
Oh, for sure.
But that was pretty much the only good thing about Saturday was that it was Autism Awareness Night.
That, and they started selling long-sleeve shirts that look like the specialty jerseys.
Yes.
And that is the best idea they've ever had.
Yeah. Because you don't have to shell out $100+ for a jersey. You could spend $60 on something that looks pretty much just like it.
And they were also selling, like, actual specialty jerseys, which they never do.
They never do that.
Always just the auctioned ones.
Yeah.
Like the player-worn jerseys. But,
so,
I mean, I'm totally here for it.
I hope they keep doing that.
I absolutely hope they keep doing that. They need to do that for every specialty jersey night.
Yeah, especially the Hockey Fights Cancer Nights. You know how well those would sell?
Everyone would get one.
Yeah.
It was $60.
Right.
Like,
that's it.
That's doable.
It is. It's a lot better than 100 something, or if you go to the auction, like thousands of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the actual jerseys they were selling, I think, were $110.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know if those were they customizable or were they just selling blanks?
I'm not sure. I know they were blank in the store.
Right.
But I don't know if you could get them customized or not.
I don't think you're allowed to get them with current players, is what I think I saw.
Really? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, because of the auction.
Because of the auctions.
Yeah.
It's different. Those are authentic and game worn.
Yeah.
Like, that's dumb. That's dumb. I can see why the rule exists,
for sure, but that's what I saw.
Oh, that is so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, they started doing that, which was really cool.
Keep that shit up.
Seriously. They said they were going to do it for the Blackout game coming up.
Mm-hmm.
With the all black and white Hogs jerseys.
Yeah, it's like the winter classic. Yes,
winter classic.
Yeah.
From last year.
Uh-huh.
So 2019 that the Hawks have.
But IceHogs.
Because,
and that's cool.
Duh. Yeah. And then we come into the All-Star weekend. I didn't watch the NHL All-Star game.
Mm-mm.
The AHL All-Star game is on tonight. They had their skills competition last night.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin is our All-Star.
Yeah, he is.
I only saw one of the goalie competitions. I don't know if he was in any other ones.
There was the one where they were coming at him fast.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, which one did you see?
I saw the one where there were 2 shooters on both sides and he had to go cross crease to save pucks. I think they shot
so
like...
he did a couple then.
Oh, man.
Because I'm pretty sure he did like a shootout thing too.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't see that one. I only saw the replay last night when I was laying down. So.
These are just things that I've peeped on Twitter.
Yeah. So that was cool. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get tonight because Milwaukee's goalie is also in for Central. And there's another one, and I can't recall who it is.
For Milwaukee?
Yes.
I was going to say, because Kevin's our only all-star.
Right. Yeah, there's another goalie. I can't remember who it is. Kaski Suo is an all-star for the Marlies, and I was watching the player introductions, and I realized I had no idea what he looked like.
We talk about him a lot.
We do.
I don't know if I've ever seen his face.
I don't know why, but in my head, he had, like, dark brown hair.
That's kind of what I've been picturing.
No.
No? Is he blonde?
It kind of blew my mind. I was like, who is that? I didn't know who it was when they showed him until they said his name. Kazimir Kaski.
And they don't have fancy all-star jerseys, do they?
Who is that?
Not...
No, that is not what I imagined him looking like.
No, he looks sweet.
He does look sweet, but that's not what I imagined him looking like.
No, I expected him to be a little more... Maybe more like that picture.
Like angry looking?
Yeah, like hard.
I don't know. I imagined like... I really don't know what I thought. I just thought he didn't look like what he actually looked like.
I assumed dark brown hair for some reason.
Yeah, me too. I was very thrown off.
Yeah, but the AHL All-Stars just go in their regular jerseys, don't they?
Yes.
I don't know about the game.
I think for the game they have special jerseys.
Right.
But for the
competitions, I think they're just in their regular team jerseys.
That's how it is for the NHL too.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were all in the gray ones with the...
That's just for the game.
Okay.
Yeah. Kane won a competition in the skills.
Yeah, the new one that they're shooting from the crowd,
Yeah, the
right?
Shooting Stars one.
Yeah, it was him and Marner.
Yeah, him and Marner were tied. But I thought there was a lot of complaining about it on Twitter because it was new and it didn't really work the way a lot of people thought it was going to. But I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of promise as long as they fix it next year.
What was wrong?
So the highest point target was 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the arch, like St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
But it was in the middle of the ice. It was at like the face-off dot.
Yeah.
And then there was a target at the far end of the rink, like where the other goal would be. Mm-hmm. And that was only 4 points.
What?
So the furthest one is 4 points. The biggest target that there is on the ice is the 10-pointer.
Who did this?
Yeah, and then some pucks like went behind the netting on the 10-point thing, and that didn't count because you had to get it in the net, but nobody realized that. So it was just, they need to make it more clear what the rules are. And if they want to continue using a target that's like the theme of wherever it's being held, they should just make them all look like that and just have them scattered around the ice and
I agree.
Go by like distance, what the point totals are.
Yeah, distance or size.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
You know, like regular skee ball.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought it was a really cool premise. It was something new, finally, for the All-Star Skills competition.
Yeah.
I was amazed that so many of the players actually got it into that net, which I shouldn't be because, I mean, they play hockey for a living.
That's what they do.
But if they're shooting from above the crowd onto the ice, how do you know where the puck's going to go? I don't know. I guess that's why they get paid millions and I don't. But it was cool, and Kane won that one.
Of course.
The best part of the night was the women's 3-on-3.
3-on-3, yeah.
That was really cool. I was glad they did that. But I go back and forth on it. So they had the All-Stars for the U.S. national team and the Canadian national team. I hope going forward they'll include, like, Sweden and Finland and some other teams, too. But it seemed like... I don't know how I want to put this. It kind of seemed like the NHL was using it more as a marketing gimmick rather than actually trying to promote them. Yeah. Because it seemed like every talking point was, hey, mention the women are here.
Right.
Hey, mention the women are here. Hey, mention the women are here. And it's good.
Of course.
But I feel like there's a line between it being too much And, I mean, the bar was basically set under the ice because they haven't done anything before this.
Yeah.
Except Kendall Coyne being there last year.
Yeah.
But she only competed because McKinnon couldn't. So, yeah, so, I don't know. I feel like there's a line, and I don't know where the line is, but when I was watching it, it kind of felt like it was just a talking point rather than actually promoting it.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. It's better than doing nothing.
Of course.
And I thought the game was the best part of the night. Totally.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it could have been handled differently, but I don't really know how. And I guess that's where my problem is with it, is that I don't know how I would have changed it. But it just didn't seem like it was done correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. And plus they didn't Zamboni the ice before the game.
Why would they not do that?
But they did after it?
What?
Like before the rest of the skills competition?
See, that's like what they do with the kids when they let them play at halftime.
Exactly.
Oh, that's icky.
Yeah.
That's icky. They're real players.
Exactly. Yeah. If I was to change the actual game aspect, obviously I would give them clean ice.
Yeah.
But also no running clock. So there was a running clock. And I was like, this kind of sucks. It'll just make it go a lot faster. Mm-hmm. Which I get because it's an all-star thing and they want to keep things moving.
I guess.
But it was the most entertaining and it's real hockey.
Right.
So, I don't know. And there were only 2 halves that were 10 minutes long. So I would have gone like at least 3 periods of 10 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted more of it, I guess. And I wish that the NHL would actually work towards helping the women put a solid league together. But alas, they will just use it as a talking point.
Maybe one day.
Maybe. Like, they kept asking the players about it, and what are they supposed to say? What are they supposed to say? No, I hate that the women are here.
Right.
No, of course they're going to be like, yeah, it's way overdue. I'm glad that they're here. Mm-hmm. Which, good. Again, it's
Obviously.
Good. But, I don't know, it just felt gimmicky.
Yeah.
It felt gimmicky to me. Like, they were just pushing it too hard and trying to make people interested in it when I feel like more people actually watched because they were interested in it.
Not because they kept saying, hey,
hey, and not because it's the NHL All-Star competition, because nobody really gives a damn about that.
No.
A lot of people tuned in for the women. I know I did.
Right.
Like, I wanted to see that. So, I don't know. I'm glad that they did it. They should have given them clean ice.
Yes, that's the least respect they could have done. Like,
right.
At the very least, give them fresh ice.
Right.
How hard is that?
Seriously, especially if you're going to have a running clock. Like, that puck is going to be bouncing all over the place.
That's so icky.
Yeah, that could cause an injury because they're actually playing hockey, unlike the rest of the skills comp.
Oh my god.
So they could toe pick, slide into the boards, they could twist their ankles. So many things could happen.
Many.
I don't know. I don't want to talk too badly about it because I'm glad that they did it.
Of course.
They just need to do better. And being a league of their caliber, they should know how to do things better. Mm-hmm. But we say that about everything they do, and they still can't figure it out. And they give Brandon Manning 5-game suspensions for, using racial slurs.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That sucked. The game sucked.
Patrick Kane scored twice.
He did. That was good. And the St. Louis crowd was cheering until they realized it was Kane, and then they started booing. So that was pretty funny. They were booing him every time he touched the puck. And then he said something like, I shouldn't have scored that many playoff goals in this building or something. I was like, oh, shoot.
Beautiful.
It was. Oh, man. So, I don't know. This week is pretty barren. Nothing really happened. Next week isn't going to be that much better, really.
It's going to be like 1 game each, right?
Yeah. The rest of the league is playing, so who knows? We'll probably have drama. Oh, that game between Edmonton and Calgary?
Yeah,
those were the 2 teams?
That'll be Wednesday, right?
So we'll see what happens there if Cassian does come back with a vengeance.
We'll see.
Or if he decides to behave himself, which would be the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
But as we already know, these players aren't very smart.
Some of them are definitely cavemen.
Yes.
Talented cavemen.
Hopefully Cassian doesn't turn out to be one of them. Because maybe he'll get an extra game of suspension.
Right.
I have no faith in the people who
Hand out discipline.
That's the one. So hopefully we have better news next week, and that at least one of these two teams could win a damn game this weekend.
Please.
That's all I want.
Just one of you.
I'm hoping with the break they can just take a minute to breathe, regroup, reset, come back, and actually play hockey.
That would be great.
Yeah, that's what the Hawks were doing before that game against the Panthers. And the IceHogs they've got a lot to figure out.
Yeah, they do.
But we can only hope for the best.
Please. Cross your fingers.
And
Cross
your
your
toes. And your hair. And your arms. And just cross everything and keep it crossed until they play again on Friday.
Turn yourself into a pretzel.
We have 2 giveaways this weekend. There's the Chris Steak hat on Friday.
Boring shit.
And then there's
bare minimum.
It's the fleece blanket on Saturday, I believe. Yeah, which looks pretty cool. So
yeah.
I don't use fleece blankets very often, but it looks nice at least.
They're nice to have.
Yeah, you never know when you might need it. So if you need tickets to the IceHogs game, check those out. Get the giveaways. And let's hope for a friggin' win for once.
Just one.
Just one. I'll take one of 2. I don't care at this point.
Just one win.
Yeah, at home.
At home.
We need a win at home.
Home win.
I'm very tired of seeing home losses.
Yes.
And seeing 2 goals scored in 3 games at home last week. And they were both in the same game.
I need to hear the Good to Be Alive song again.
Yep.
Because it has been too long.
It's disappeared. We will never get it back. They're never going to win another
Never
game.
going to win at home again?
Nope. They're done.
Great.
Yep. On that note, we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.